Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. Good morning. How are you today? I hope you are always healthy. What was the impressions and the message for the first time in class again in second semester after the holidays and immediately studied biology? I want to try to give options that are still fresh and enthusiastic. You can give the thumbs up feature. Okay. Okay, Alhamdulillah. On average, the answers are still fresh and enthusiastic. Do you know who I am before? Of course you not, because I am your new teacher who teach biology. That's why I want to introduce myself first. Okay, I will share screen. Okay, my name is Istiadzah Darmastuti. You can call me Miss Isti. I'm currently studying at UIN Syarif Hidayatullah, Jakarta, majoring in biology education, semester 6. I will be your biology teacher for this semester. Okay, so can we get started with today's material? Okay, what's the topic of today's material? All right, Plantae, let's get started. Before we get into the main topic, this is the intro. Did you know there are about 350,000 plant species on Earth that have been identified? Although plants have high diversity, there are similarities in characteristics. So they are grouped in the same kingdom. What about Plantae? Can anyone mention the characteristics of kingdom Plantae? Okay, Andy. Thank you. Next. This is the characteristic of kingdom Plantae. First, eukaryotic cells. Plants are composed of eukaryotic cells, which are have a nuclear membrane. Second, plants have chloroplast. Plants are autotroph, meaning they can make their own food because they have chloroplast. So they can make their own food by photosynthesis. Next, cell wall is composed of cellulose. The presence of cell wall makes plants have rigid cell structure and cannot change shape. Next, metagenesis, between the generative phase and the vegetative phase. We move on the next slide. This is the classification of kingdom Plantae. Plantae is divided into three divisions. There is bryophyte, pteridophyte, and spermatophyte. This is bryophyte. You can look at the picture. This is an example of bryophyte. The characteristic of bryophyte are do not have true roots, stems, and leaves. The roots are pseudoroots, or it's called rhizoid. And the third, do not have vascular bundles. There is bryophyte is do not have xylem and phloem. Next, Okay, this is the example plants of bryophyte. First is in bahasa is called lumut hati or hepaticopita. Next, in bahasa is lumut daun or bryophyta. And next is lumut tanduk or anteserophyta. You can look the different picture that is the example of bryophyta. Okay, next, the characteristic of pteridophyte. First, have true stems, roots, and leaves. Okay, so the pteridophyte is a different type or the higher type from bryophyte because the bryophyte do not have true stems, roots, and leaves. Next, already have transport vessels, xylem, and phloem. And the third, habitats for pteridophytes are include water, it's called hydrophytes, moist place, hygrophytes, attached to other plants, epiphytes, and in the remains of other plants or garbage. It calls saprophytes. Next is the example plants of pteridophyte. First, in bahasa called paku kawat or Lycopsida. Next, pakus jati atau pteropsida. Next, paku ekor kuda, Spenopsida, and paku purba, Silopsida. You can see the different pictures that make them divided into the different species. Next, the characteristic of spermatophyte. First, have seeds as a means of reproduction, has vascular bundles, habitat on land, and some are floating in water. Example plants of spermatophyte. Based on location of the seeds, it is divided into two different species. There is gymnosperms and angiosperms. Gymnosperms is plants with open seeds. For example, Chicadophyte. There is pilgrim ferns. Next, ginkgophyte. There is ginkgo biloba. Next, coniferophyte or pines. Next, Gnetophyta. The species is melinjo in bahasa. So that's the classification of plants with open seeds or in the gymnosperms. Next, angiosperms. Angiosperms is seed plants covered. Example, monocots and dicots. Monocots is example is corn, turmeric, and galangal. For dicots is cassava, potatoes, tomatoes, and hibiscus. Next. Okay, let's get into practice. Who knows and can answer this blank chart? Please look carefully at the chart before answering. Okay, Sylvia. What's the answer? Okay, the answer is very true and correct. Plants that already have transport vessels are pteridophytes and spermatophytes. And plants that do not have stems and true leaves are bryophytes. Okay, please provide examples of each. Okay, thank you so much. So that's an explanation of the kinds of plants that are classified into three divisions, namely bryophytes, pteridophytes, and spermatophytes. The existence of various kinds of plants around us, the supply of oxygen will be fulfilled because of the process of photosynthesis that plants do for us to breathe. The presence of plants also adds to the coolness and attracts harmful substances in the air such as carbon dioxide. Always take care of the preservation of plants because plants are part of life and take part in every process in life. Okay, thank you for today. That's all. See you next week. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.